The bright neon lights of the Tonight Show studio glowed like always, promising laughter, charm, and late-night comfort. But behind the scenes, the air was unusually heavy. Crew members whispered instead of joked. Assistants checked their headsets twice. Something felt off. Mila Kunis stood near her dressing room mirror. Adjusting her blazer, her expression calm but her eyes sharp. She had done hundreds of interviews in her career. This was routine, or at least it was supposed to be. Earlier that day, producers had sent her a list of safe topics. New film, family life, light humor, no politics, no industry controversies. Mila had agreed, on paper. But the problem wasn't the list. The problem was what wasn't on it. Just an hour earlier, Mila had overheard a hushed conversation between two producers. They didn't know she was nearby. "Fallon wants to push the question," one whispered. "She said she doesn't want to go there," the other replied. "He thinks it'll be playful. Ratings gold." Mila didn't confront them. She simply walked away, jaw tight. Across the hallway, Jimmy Fallon flipped through his cue cards, smiling as always. But even his charm seemed rehearsed tonight. A senior producer leaned in close. "Don't push too hard," she warned. Jimmy laughed softly. "Relax, I know how to handle guests." The countdown echoed through the studio. 5 minutes to air. Mila took a deep breath and stepped out. Applause erupted as she was guided toward the stage. The audience saw only a confident actress waving warmly. They had no idea a storm was brewing beneath the surface. Jimmy welcomed her with his signature grin. "Mila Kunis, everybody!" They sat. The band played. Cameras rolled. The first few minutes were smooth. Jokes landed. Laughter flowed. Mila relaxed slightly. Maybe the rumors were wrong. Maybe Jimmy would keep it light. Then it happened. Jimmy glanced at a card, hesitated just half a second too long, and looked up. "So, Mila," he began casually, "there's been a lot of buzz lately about certain behind-the-scenes tensions in Hollywood. Some people say you're difficult to work with." The audience laughed nervously. Mila's smile froze. "That's an interesting way to put it," she replied calmly. Jimmy leaned forward, sensing momentum. "Care to respond to that?" The band went quiet. The laughter faded. Backstage, producers stiffened. Mila crossed her legs slowly, eyes locked on Jimmy. "I was told this wouldn't be part of the conversation," she said. Jimmy chuckled. "Hey, it's all in good fun." But Mila wasn't laughing. "This isn't fun," she said firmly. The audience shifted in their seats. The red on-air light burned brighter than ever. And in that moment, everyone realized this interview was about to go completely off the rails. The tension was no longer subtle. It sat between Mila Kunis and Jimmy Fallon like a live wire, crackling with every word. Jimmy tried to recover. Okay, let's switch gears," he said, forcing a laugh. Mila tilted her head. "No, let's not." The audience gasped softly. "You brought it up," she continued, voice steady but sharp. "And I'm tired of women in this industry being labeled difficult for setting boundaries." Applause erupted, then abruptly stopped when a producer signaled the crowd to quiet down. Jimmy's smile tightened. "I think we're getting a little serious for late night." "Then maybe stop asking serious questions disguised as jokes," Mila shot back. The band stayed silent. Cameras zoomed in. Social media phones lit up across the audience. Jimmy tried humor again. "Hey, this is the Tonight Show, not a courtroom." Mila leaned forward. "Then stop putting me on trial." A stunned silence followed. From the control room, a director whispered urgently, "Cut to commercial." But Jimmy raised a hand, confident he could still steer the ship. "Mila, no one's attacking you." "Intent doesn't erase impact," she replied. "You invited me here under certain conditions. You broke them." The audience began murmuring. This wasn't playful banter. This was confrontation. Jimmy's tone hardened slightly. "I ask what the audience wants to know." Mila didn't blink. "Or what gets clipped for headlines?" That one landed hard. Behind the cameras, producers panicked. One shouted, "We're losing control!" Jimmy exhaled, irritation flashing across his face. "Are you saying I'm exploiting you?" "I'm saying this format often does," Mila replied. "And tonight I won't play along." The audience split, half cheering, half stunned into silence. Jimmy straightened in his chair. "Maybe we should take a break," he said coldly. Mila stood up. No, she said. I think I'm done. Gasps echoed through the studio. Jimmy looked up at her, shocked. Are you walking off my show? Mila grabbed her mic and placed it gently on the desk. I'm choosing self-respect. The director screamed, "Cut now!" The screen abruptly faded to commercial. But it was too late. Clips were already spreading. Tweets were already trending. And the words, "Mila Kunis walks off Tonight Show" were exploding across the internet. Backstage erupted into chaos the moment the cameras stopped. What the hell just happened? A producer shouted. Mila walked calmly toward her dressing room, heels echoing against the floor. A staff member rushed after her. Mila, please, we can fix this. She turned slowly. No, she said. You can't. Jimmy stormed in moments later, face flushed with anger. You blindsided me, he snapped. Mila met his gaze without fear. You blindsided me first. Producers surrounded them, voices overlapping. We're still live! Network executives are calling. This is a disaster! A senior NBC executive stepped forward, tone icy. Mila, we're asking you to leave the premises. Jimmy froze. What? She disrupted a live broadcast, the executive continued. This is unacceptable. Mila let out a slow breath. So that's it, she said quietly. I'm kicked out for refusing to be humiliated. No one answered. Jimmy looked conflicted, but he said nothing. Mila grabbed her coat and bag. Enjoy your ratings, she said before walking away. As she exited the building, paparazzi flashes exploded. Questions flew. Mila, what happened on the show? Were you kicked out? Is Hollywood turning on Jimmy Fallon? She didn't answer. Inside, Jimmy sat alone in his dressing room, staring at the floor. The laughter track played on the monitors, reruns filling the silence. For the first time in years, The Tonight Show didn't feel funny. By morning, the internet was on fire. Stand with Mila trended worldwide. So did Der Fallon Exposed. Clips dissected every second of the clash. Commentators took sides. Celebrities tweeted cryptic messages. One actress wrote, "Setting boundaries isn't being difficult." Another host defended Jimmy. Live TV is unpredictable. Respect goes both ways. NBC released a carefully worded statement. The Tonight Show values respectful dialogue. Last night's events were unfortunate. Mila Kunis broke her silence with a single Instagram post. Women don't owe comfort at the cost of dignity. Millions liked it within hours. Jimmy Fallon addressed the incident days later, his voice unusually subdued. I never intended to cross a line, he said. But intentions don't always match impact. The audience applauded, but something had changed. Behind the scenes, guest agreements were rewritten. Interview boundaries became stricter. Producers grew more cautious. The industry felt the ripple. And whether people blamed Mila or Jimmy, one thing was undeniable. That night on The Tonight Show was no longer just entertainment. It became a conversation Hollywood could no longer ignore.